Hey everybody, Rachel Teedy here with this evening update on this September 12th, and we have a lot of headlines to get to, so let's jump right in. This first one is a case that we've been following pretty closely. This is an accused killer arraigned today after a homicide in Troy. The Honduran native Carlos Corrales Ramirez appeared in Rensselaer County Court. He's accused of stabbing Jairo Jesus Hernandez Sanchez of Troy on Saturday. That was September 2nd. Carlos Ramirez is listed as homeless by the Rensselaer County DA, and he was indicted by a grand jury on a murder charge. His case has come under scrutiny by county officials because Corrales Ramirez is not a U.S. citizen, and he's also accused of a stabbing in Maryland. He was picked up for that incident on the New York-Canadian border, and Corrales Ramirez was released because Maryland officials never extradited him. Months later, that homicide in Troy happened. The Rensselaer County executive leader has been very upset about this, blaming the governor for open door policies, is what he's calling them. Another story we are following, this is a first on 13 story. John Lincoln Lynch has pleaded guilty. This comes as jury selection was getting underway in Saratoga County Court. Lincoln Lynch left the scene after hitting Paul Trombley on Main Street in South Glens Falls in February of 2022. Trombley died after that. Lincoln Lynch agreed to a plea deal that carries 1 to 3 years in state prison. He'll be sentenced October 31st. 100 jurors were sent home after that plea deal was agreed to. We're also following the story out of East Greenbush. Students in all schools in East Greenbush will remain inside the school every school day until further notice. That's the decision by school leaders after a threat for a second day caused a lockout, meaning no students allowed in or out of the buildings and no visitors are allowed in. The latest threat comes to the nurse's office at Goff Middle School, and the superintendent sent a letter to parents today saying the threats that the district has received the last 2 days are treated seriously. It detailed that until further notice, the students will have regular school days, but with the additional safety protocols that are remaining in place. And Dan Levy is digging into this a little bit more. He'll have updates coming up live at 9 and 11 o'clock. Well, let me bring in Winnique Martinez, who is tracking the forecast for us. And Winnique, we are hoping for a little bit of break in the rain, but more is on the way.
Yeah, Rachel, we are in that break right now. So that break that we are going to get for the next few hours is right now. We are in that lull as that cold front moves in from our west. So taking a live look right now at our CDP-HP first warning cam, 74 degrees in Saratoga Springs, and absolutely beautiful. First warning live Doppler radar showing that we are dry across the capital region, starting to see some rain work into our west because of that approaching cold front. Now temperatures today, we reached the lower 80s. Tomorrow, the air will become more rain cooled, so those temperatures will be even cooler tomorrow in the upper 60s by this time on Thursday. So looking at this hour by hour forecast, we'll see by 11:15, we'll start to have those clouds start to build in to the region, and then rain starts to work its way in on Wednesday morning. So widespread rain is expected Wednesday morning, so a wet start to your day and for your morning commute. As we progress throughout the day, we'll have that first round of rain make its way to our east, and then we'll have that next round of rain right after we have that break in the afternoon. So scattered showers are expected as we progress into Wednesday. And again, that rain is expected to be more widespread. Now, with this approaching cold front, behind that front, the good news is we'll start to have more cool and drier air in place. So humidity drops significantly on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So starting to feel more like fall. And I don't know about you, but I am counting down the days. Here's an update on Lee. Lee is still a major hurricane, currently a Category 3 hurricane with sustained winds at 115 miles per hour. Right now, Lee is tracking west northwest and will continue to shift that way until about Friday when it starts its northward push. By Friday early morning, Lee will have sustained winds at 90 miles per hour. As we progress into the weekend, Lee will stay at Category 1, and we are expecting Lee to make landfall near the coast of Canada by Sunday afternoon with sustained winds at 45 miles per hour. So at that point, Lee will just be an area of low pressure, and that is due because of those colder ocean waters that Lee will encounter. So there is still a good bit of uncertainty with Lee, but we will keep you updated as the days progress. Here's an update on Margot. Margot is a hurricane now and is expected just to stay out to sea by Sunday. And we'll see that that storm will dissipate and we will not have any impacts to land as it relates to Margot. But But locally here, temperatures are mild in the 60s, mostly cloudy, and that chance of showers will start to ramp back up into the overnight hours. Tomorrow, temperatures will be cool, lower 70s, so 10 degrees lower than what we saw today, and we'll have those muggy conditions stick around until about the end of the day. By Thursday, we'll have less humid air with those temperatures staying in the lower 70s. Next weekend looks great with temperatures in the low to mid 70s, and then by Monday, we'll track that next chance of rain.
All right. Thank you so much, Wanique. Definitely feeling more like fall.
And I can't wait.
Me neither. Thank you so much. All right. The last story we're talking about, a real bummer for the Jets fans last night. Let me bring in our newest sports reporter, Crystal Stone, who is here to talk all about this giant. I mean, nobody expected this yesterday.
Yes, Rachel, this has to be the worst case scenario for Jets fans. Their star quarterback, so much anticipation, so much excitement for Aaron Rodgers joining the Jets, and his season is pretty much over before he even got started. This is after the quarterback was injured on his fourth play of the Jets opening game and opening series versus the Buffalo Bills last night. Now, the Jets were led by their backup quarterback, Zach Wilson, who did manage to win in overtime 22-16. But right after the game, head coach Robert Saleh said that they feared the four-time MVP Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles tendon, and that was indeed confirmed through an MRI this morning. So the 39-year-old is out for the remainder of the season, and the Jets' Super Bowl hopes are pretty much out the window. Now, the Jets are going to have to go back to the drawing board here for their new options for QB1. They have Zach Wilson, but it's not likely that he'll remain the starter for the remainder of the season. I expect the front office to make calls across the league to maybe Colt McCoy, Carson Wentz, Jameis Winston. There are even rumors of bringing back Tom Brady, but I cannot imagine that Tom Brady will feign retirement again and come back to the NFL. So that's out the window. So really, it's just a really bad break for the Jets. As a season starting, it's really hard to see them fall this way as they face the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday.
And I think, are aware that you love the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to this matchup now without Aaron Rodgers being in the picture, which is probably a hard thing to say, but I am a huge fan of the Dallas Cowboys. They played very well against the New York Giants, which I know is another team that a lot of people around here are very much rooting for, but 40-0 blowout, I mean, I was happy for it.
So you are our newest sports reporter. You started, gosh, how long has it been? About a week or so?
Yeah, it's been about a week. Yeah.
Okay. And you've been getting your feet underneath you, learning the whole, everything, our computer systems. Talk about, you're here to the Capital Region, and where are you from originally?
So I'm originally from Dallas, Texas, but I lived a lot of my adult life in New York City as an actor and as executive assistant. And I'm kind of making a career shift into sports media. I did a little work with ESPN. I went to grad school. I just finished grad school at Arizona State University in Phoenix and made the move here to the Capital Region. I'm so excited to be back on the East Coast because I feel like East Coast time is the real time. So I'm glad to be back in New York City, and I'm enjoying the Capital Region so far.
Well, the Dallas upbringing makes sense. The Cowboys obviously should have seen that one coming. Well, very cool. We're excited to have you. Are you an outdoorsy person? Like, what do you do when you're not working?
Yeah, I'm forced to be an outdoorsy person because I have a little dog. So I'm loving the park scenes around here. I've been to about 3 different parks in the city. I've taken her around. I've taken her hiking a little bit. So I'm more of an outdoorsy person. I like working out in the gym. And then I really love binging true crime shows. That's my favorite.
Oh, okay. So sports reporter, obviously. What's like your sport of choice?
Oh, football. Football for sure. I organize my Saturdays and Sundays around football schedules. So I book my flights around football and make sure I don't miss any important games. But football is like my bread and butter.
And were you an athlete yourself?
I was. I played 3 different sports in high school. I played volleyball, tennis, and I threw the discus and track. I was also the female athlete of the year twice.
Wow.
In my high school.
That's
So,
cool. Good for you.
Yeah.
Love that. So cool. We're thrilled to have you, and you'll make your on-air debut on News Channel 13 tomorrow.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Crystal, for your insight. We're thrilled to have you, of course. And we have a lot more coming up on News Channel 13 Live at 9 and News Channel 13 Live at 11. Dan Lee is looking into the East Greenbush case. We'll see you then.